Hi guys, another chapter 3 video. 3.2 is our topic, and we are going to work on this video on how can I simplify expressions. It's not something new, it's something we've seen in other videos, but we're going to continue working on harder and harder versions of these. So I'm going to jump right into it, and we're going to start doing some examples. And I know I'm going to write big, so I'm going to give myself extra space today. Let's try our first problem. We'll call that example 1. And today our focus is not on solving for x, so we're not going to get an actual answer for our variable. We're just going to simplify our variable. Simplify. And these are the ones that often end up with lots of like parentheses involved. So here is our first problem. We are going to simplify, throwing things around, sorry. We are going to simplify parentheses 2w minus x minus parentheses 4x plus w. All right, so how do we tackle this problem? Well, first we get rid of the parentheses. So I see that there's a subtraction involved here. So I know the first parentheses is just 2w minus x. I got nothing to do there. But I know the second one, this 4x plus w, is going to change because of this minus sign. We're actually going to subtract the 4x, and we're going to subtract the w, which I'll put right there. So it's actually this. It's actually 2w minus x, that's the first part, minus 4x minus w. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to get my like terms together. So like 2w, which is right here, this first piece, probably should go with the minus w. Those are like terms, so I'll get rid of those. What else can I put together? Well, the negative x, which is right here, probably should go with the minus 4x, which is right here. And then I'm going to combine things together. So 2w take away a w is 1w. 2w's take away w is 1w. And then this negative x minus 4x, that's kind of complicated. It's actually KCC. It's kind of like keep the negative x, change it to adding a negative 4x. It's like terms. A negative x and a negative 4x add up to a negative 5x's all together. Negative 5x's. So we have 1w and we have minus 5x. I'm just going to write that as w minus 5x. And that is our simplified solution. We've got our w's together, we've got our x's together, and most importantly, we got rid of the parentheses, and we were really careful up top here to get this negative sign in. Now there's a name for that. When we do that, that's called distributing. I'm going to write distribute. We are distributing in the minus sign so that everything in the parentheses gets subtracted. That's the idea here. So let's try another one. Like I said, we're going to continue complicated versions of this. Take that off. Let's do an example 2. For our next example, example 2, we're doing the same thing. We're going to simplify some parenthesis problems. This time, I'm going to tell you I have 3 parentheses, x minus 4, plus parentheses 2 plus 3x. There we go. Ooh, how is this problem a little different than the other ones we've tried? Well, it's got the parentheses. The directions are to simplify, so we're not solving. There's no equal sign. We're not going to have an answer for x. And I noticed that there's a 3 out in front, and that's really what's standing out to me. I want to get rid of the parentheses, but what does this mean? Well, this means I have 3 of these. So the way I'm going to solve this is I'm going to use that distribute again. I'm going to say, well, that means I have 3 of these x's and 3 of these 4's. It's like I'm timesing the whole parenthesis by 3. So if I have 3 x's, well, that's 3x, minus, if I have 3 4's, well, what's 3 times 4? That's 12. So here's my simplified answer for that one parenthesis. It's 3x minus 12. Then I have to add it to this. So I'm going to add it to 2, and I'm going to add it to 3x. Now I can combine my like terms. What is going to go together? Well, the 3x and the 3x. So 3x plus 3x. I think we need to combine those. I'll cross them out. And then I think the minus 12 and the plus 2. Minus 12 and the plus 2. So we'll combine 3x and 3x. That's going to make 6x's. Okay. And we'll combine negative 12 plus 2. That's a different sign, subtract. So 12 take away 2 is 10. 12 is bigger, it's negative, so minus 10. And there's our simplified solution. There it is, 6x minus 10. Okay, so maybe it's your turn to try one. Let's see if you can do it. Take this off. Let's do a you try and kind of test you out. So here it is, you try. Same thing, can you simplify? So that's the directions, simplify. And here are your parentheses. Can you simplify 4 minus 2y plus 5 times, parentheses, y minus 1. Well, there's a tricky one. Okay, I want you to give it a try. Pause the video and see if you can simplify this expression. Okay, are you ready to check your answer? How'd you do? Let's see. We want to get rid of our parentheses. The first parentheses is going to be easy because there's nothing with it. It's just 4 minus 2y. So 4 minus 2y. But this one is being multiplied by 5. We're saying there's 5 of those parentheses. There's 5 of the y's and there's 5 of the minus 1's. So what that means is 5 times y is 5y. And it's an adding problem, so we're going to add the 5y. And then we have 5 times a minus 1. Well, that'd be a minus 5. 5 times 1 is 5. So that's how we're going to get rid of those parentheses. And then we combine our like terms. So like the negative 2y is going to combine with the plus 5y. Those are going to go together. I'll cross them out. The 4, which is a positive 4, and the minus 5 are going to go together. So negative 2y plus 5y, different signs subtract, 5 take away 2 is 3y's. And then 4 take away 5 technically is a KCC problem. It's keep, change, change. So 4 plus negative 5, it's different sign subtract. 5 take away 4 is 1. It'd have to be a negative 1. There is our simplified solution. So again, notice we're not solving for y. We're not getting an answer for y. All we're doing is taking this big, messy expression and trying to make it smaller and cleaner. That's all we're up to right now. And why are we doing that? You might be starting to ask yourself, well, why do I need to do that? Well, you're going to get into these high school algebra courses where you're solving these big equations and you have to clean and simplify up your problem. It's also just nicer and neater looking. This is big and long and it looks complicated. 3y minus 1 does not look very complicated to me. It's much more cleaner and nicer. So that's kind of what we're up to here. Let's try another example and really keep practicing this. So we're going to do another example here. See, this would be example 3 now. So that was a you try. And just kind of continuing our process here. I'm gonna do one that looks like this. We're gonna put a fraction in there. We're gonna do 1/2 parenthesis 4x plus 8 plus parentheses x minus 2. Let's put a fraction into this problem. 1/2 parentheses 4x plus 8 plus x minus 2. Okay, so we want to get rid of the parentheses. That's the first goal in simplifying. Well, we have this 1/2 that's out in front. So we're going to have to get half of the 4 and half of the 8. That's what we're going to be doing. It's kind of like multiplying 1/2 times 4x and 1/2 times 8. But when you think about multiplying, 1/2 times 4x and 1/2 times 8 is the same as division. Fractions mean divide. So 4 divided in half, divided by 2, is going to be just a 2x. Plus 8 divided in half is going to be 4. So this whole thing simplifies down to 2x plus 4. And then we have plus x minus 2, so plus x minus 2, and we're ready to get rid of those parentheses and simplify. So I'm going to put my x's together, 2x plus x, that'll cross them out. I'm going to put my 4 and minus 2 together, plus 4 minus 2, cross them out. And then I'm going to combine my like terms. So 2x plus x makes 3x. And 4 take away 2 is 2, a positive 2. So here's my simplified solution, 3x plus 2. Now mathematically, this big messy thing we started with is exactly the same as this thing down at the bottom. It's just this is really messy up top, and this is really short and clean and nice. So that's the whole process of simplifying. So to kind of wrap up our notes over here, I just want to put a couple of things down. One of our goals when we do these problems is we want to get rid of the parentheses, and we do that with distributing. So no parentheses. We're trying to get rid of them if we can. That is kind of our first step. And then we do this thing where we say, okay, let's put the like terms together, all the x's together, all the numbers together. So that's called combine like terms. Combine like terms. Things that are alike go together. And what we're really trying to do is get to that end goal, which is that very simplified answer, that simplified expression. We're not actually finding an answer per se, like we don't know what x equals, but we're getting a simplified expression. And that's kind of our process. We will obviously keep practicing on this for quite a while, and honestly, it takes a lot of practice to get this down. So you might understand the basics, but then get to a harder one where you get stuck, and that's super normal. Just keep at it, keep trying, and we'll get better and better. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.